Okay, the next question applies to two candidates, and I don't know who the two candidates are. So it's your turn, Camille, to answer. And if it's not you, you might still want to comment on it. So the question is, two candidates have elected to send their children to private schools. Please explain how you plan to be in touch with the most important issues. Do you think you need to be more of a stakeholder? Why yes or no?
My children did go to public school all the way through in Palo Alto, so the question is not directly to me. However, I will answer this, and in terms of, I can't answer the specific question, but people do what they need to do for the needs of their children, and I understand that.
Ken.
So I am sending my son to private school this year in 6th grade to Woodside Priory. He went to Barron Park School through 5th grade, and I've had other children at elementary, middle, and high schools in Palo Alto. And I think that if a school board member does choose to send their child elsewhere, then they do owe you an honest answer about why that is. I am running for school board because I want schools where every parent is completely comfortable sending their child to school in Palo Alto, knowing that they'll be challenged academically and supported emotionally. And I don't think we're there yet, particularly in middle school. And actually, I think there's a lot of parents who have that sense about our middle schools. And I think that the issue is the lack of social emotional support and connectedness there. Our middle schools are large. They don't make use of current educational best practices, such as advisory programs, with the exception of connections at JLS. And the long line of parents who can't get into connections is a sign about how much parents want this. So I would interpret the oversubscription of connections and the fact that many parents exit in middle school and then often return in high school as sending the message that our middle schools need to do better providing social and emotional support for our kids. And that's certainly the message that I'm sending, and the work that I will do as a school board member is to make that happen.
Melissa.
So I am one of the candidates that you're talking about. I have one child in middle school at JLS, and I have to say that the social emotional support at JLS for all the students is excellent. There is a team format there that's sort of like houses, and there's about 100 students in every team, and those teams meet and they go on field trips together and they do activities together. I've been impressed with how many opportunities there's been for my child to explore different passions at JLS. And when I talk to my friends at Jordan, they have those opportunities too. So, and I see those same opportunities being implemented at Terman. Now, my daughter is at Castellea School. When she was in 5th grade, she told us that boys were wasting her time, that they were wasting the teacher's time, and that she couldn't get any work done with boys in the classroom. If you know my daughter, this won't seem funny to you because this is her personality. It's been good for her. We made that decision for her needs, and we like to support our children in their desires for different supports in their lives and in their education. Would she have done fine in our schools? I think so. I think she looks over at Pally on a regular basis, and there's things she wishes she had in her education right now, but she made that choice and we supported her in it. You don't want me in the school board let me just finish that. You don't want me on the school board for my own children. You want me on the school board for your children. And I've shown over the last 5 years that that's what I'm committed to.
Okay. Heidi.
So I have both my kids in our public schools here in Palo Alto. Every family does have to make their individual choice for what's right for their child. I agree with that as well. I'm a public school kid. I've been in public schools from kindergarten through graduate school. I went to UC Santa Cruz undergrad and majored in Spanish. I went to UC Berkeley and have a master's in journalism, and I went to San Francisco State University to get my master's in education. My mother was a public school teacher and ended up going from elementary to middle to high school and then teaching at San Diego State as I was growing up as well. So we're sort of public school rah, rah, rah people. My knowledge and experience, both as a student of public schools and as a parent of children in public schools, gives me an insight into improving our public schools for all children. Some families do not have a choice whether to send their children to private school or not, and I want to make sure that our schools here in Palo Alto serve the needs of every student that comes to our district. I want to make sure that there's educational equity for all, and that's what I will fight for on the school board.